Good morning, crypto friends, crypto family. I hope you're all doing great. Did you have a nice weekend? Let me know in the comments right now what you're up to in your life outside of crypto. You know, good things, bad things, college. Are you doing something with your family? Do you have a wedding? You know, what is happening in your life that keeps you happy when you wake up in the morning, aside from these crypto charts? Because when things go green, it's easy to forget about all those lovely things that make us happy because we get greedy and euphoric. We worry too much about what's going on in the world of crypto. Anyway, guys, let's talk about Bitcoin today. We're going to really talk about a pragmatic sort of path which could happen for Bitcoin and its trajectory over the next few days. Don't also forget I'm doing a $200 giveaway for any newcomers and existing subscribers. Just simply subscribe or retweet my tweet, which you can find in my comment section. So we're going to explore crypto today. You know, we're all about making money in the long term. We're not interested in making money tomorrow or next week. It's all about having a long-term vision where we are patient and we don't allow emotions to invalidate our investment strategy or logic, so to speak. So let's just have a little look at Bitcoin. We're also going to look at some news today, some crazy stuff that's going on in the markets. But at the moment, just looking at the Bitcoin chart, we're kind of forming something very similar to this ascending channel that we saw here. And what happened is we got rejected at this diagonal line of resistance over here at $47,700. You can see we are still in this macro downtrend, and we are yet to put through the third swing or retest on this resistance line that we can see right here. And the next time would be around here, sort of around $25,000, $26,000, $27,000. So that is what I'm looking out for at the moment on the chart here on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, is that I do recognize that we are trading in this sideways channel at the moment, and that means we could still get a swing low down to 20.4k. We could still come back up to 25.2, but I am looking for a potential rejection here at this level where we could come down lower. Now, this is a bearish scenario, of course. I'm going to talk about the bullish scenario in a moment, so do stick around for this video. But what I am looking at is just how we are getting these sort of a bear flags after bear flag, and then we're seeing the drop in price. Now, I think $10,000 is not going to happen at all. We see way too much buying pressure around these lower levels, especially what we saw at 17.4k over here following the Terra Luna FUD and the 200-week moving average crossover. But we are looking at potential breakdown or breakout from these particular levels. So bullish scenario is going to be, of course, that we keep trading here. We come through this channel and we rise up to about 28.8k, maybe get a rejection, retest, come back through to the $30,000 levels. But this is going to take a lot of good things to happen in the market. We have no real macroeconomical factors that are pushing a bull market right now, and that is the sad but sheer truth. I'm also looking at the potential formation of a double bottom over here for Bitcoin. As you see, we've got the first a double bottom, a double top, shall I say. We've got the first formation here. We've got the M shape potentially forming. If we lose it, we lose support, we come down to about 20.4k dollars. So that is one other thing that I'm looking out for, is the potential formation of this double top bearish reversal pattern, which will take us down to about 20.4k. And I suppose the other thing I wanted to look at is the BLX chart for Bitcoin right now. And this is just zooming out. And what I've noticed is, looking at this, for me, every blue vertical line highlights the top of the market, where we've seen a lot of euphoria and a lot of greed. As we can see over here, the peak of the 2017 bull market. Over here was the peak of the March 2021 bull market in terms of the relative strength index itself. You know, if you look at that, we had a massive bearish divergence. So what's happened is, what I'm looking at now is the last time we were this oversold in the extreme fear side of things. What happened is we got this massive pump out of this position here when we were oversold, and we put through an increase of, I guess it was around, if it's going to let me do it, 281%, right, from the bottom. So if we were to imitate the same sort of thing, another 281% would bring us back to the top. It's not going to happen like that. However, what we could do is get this swing high and bring down to the swing high of this particular top, and that's a 28.91% decrease from the actual swing high prior to the event. You can see this would take us to around $49,200. So that is another scenario that could actually play out, is that we actually get a massive pump here from this level up to around $42,000, and then see the continuation to the downside as we sort of trade sideways. That's another scenario that could happen. We could actually pump up to $40,000 here because we've been so oversold on the relative strength index. I mean, look, we went from being oversold here, we put through and came overbought, but we didn't actually put through an all-time high. As you see, it's still a lower low, right? we could easily come back up on the RSI to like overbought territory, but not putting through a high, but still putting through a $40,000 Bitcoin before coming back down like this. And this is one sort of scenario I am looking at, because it's something that takes time, a lot of accumulation. The whales want to trick you and reel you back in, develop that euphoria, thrill, and greed again, and then shake you out once they get back to the top, because they're holding the bag at the bottom over here from the extreme fear. So that's another scenario I'm looking at for Bitcoin at the moment, is that there is a potential $40,000 pump on the way. However, if we do fail the current bear flag that we're in, and we do complete this double top, we can still see a 20.3k Bitcoin lose the support and come down to the 17.3k Bitcoin. So, the whales control the market, and it's really hard to sort of dictate what's going to happen next. What we do know, though, is if we look at the history on the Bitcoin Rich List and the Bitcoin distribution, we can see in the last month we've had a crazy amount of accumulation. Looking at the 0.1 to 1 Bitcoin holders, 1 month ago was 2.79 million. Today we're looking at a figure of 2.853 million addresses holding between 0.1 and 1 Bitcoin. So there's been a significant amount of reaccumulation. We can say the same thing if we zoom back 3 months ago. It's gone from 2.62 million all the way up to 2.85 million. So lots of new whole coiners, the smaller, or shall we say medium wealth group of the, the deviation from the whales at the top, and the small fry, the little people like the plankton, like myself and maybe you if you're watching, have very small amounts of Bitcoin. I hold between 1 and 10 Bitcoin. So I'm still technically small fry. However, I did, a few years ago, I was holding 0.1 to 1 Bitcoin. Now that's interesting, because it does show that we're seeing more of a shift of the wealth, more people are accumulating, and that the retail interest is extremely high still. So it's one thing that is really, really bullish about this particular information here. It is accumulation season. Here is a little article on FX Street. Here's why Bitcoin is closer to the greatest bull market of all time. Of course, this is subjective, but we can see we have some data here as well as some facts. Mike McGlone of Bloomberg Intelligence is bullish on Bitcoin despite short-term charts. Analysts believe Bitcoin price has successfully retested its 200-day moving average as support, ready for a massive rally. Well, I would be still skeptical, because we can still have a rally, but we can still get rejected and go back down to those lower support levels like we saw before March 2020. Right before the COVID-19 crash. We can see Bitcoin will perform most assets in H2 2022, argue analysts. As analysts eye the potential performance of Bitcoin over the next 6 months of 2022, strategists at Bloomberg Intelligence do not doubt that Bitcoin is ready for a price rally. Irrespective of short-term price action, Mike McGlone is bullish on the price. Bitcoin is still on track to deliver nearly 20% gains in July 2022. Well, July 22 is over now. We're in August, right? So let's see if August can also deliver a nice big green weekly or monthly candle. This is a stark contrast throughout 2022. Analysts note that Bitcoin breakout to 6-week highs on July 21 is the precursor and predict a breakout in the asset. In its monthly close, analysts identified the Bart-Simpson formation, a short-term chart pattern that indicates a sharp price rally in Bitcoin. Based on the on-chain data, Bitcoin is currently in the accumulation phase, and indicators like the market value to realized value, the MVRV, and long-term moving averages crossovers signals are positive signs for a rally in the asset. Well, I do somewhat agree with this, and I think, again, simple indicators just like the relative strength index help us identify these kind of things, because so far, every time we've seen the green line, we've been more or less in an accumulation season, as you can see here, where we are oversold massively on the RSIs, where the green vertical line is. We can start accumulating, and that's where it takes a multiple amount of days. You see 800 days from this period to go from the bottom of the RSI to the top of the RSI at the peak bull market. You see you've only got 365 days to accumulate from the market cycle top, and then at the bottom of the RSI things start slowly going back into an uptrend. So far we have had quite a lot of days, 426 days from our crypto crash, but we haven't yet seen an 80% crash overall, just like the previous 2 bull market cycles. So this would suggest that we would still see a $15,000 Bitcoin with 600 to 900 days for a full market recovery, which would probably take us to around November 2024. Of course, this is all speculation, but we're just looking at the time it takes between these waves and the relative strength index. Really, I mean, that's what we're looking at. What else is going on news-wise? Tiffany & Co. reveal first NFTs at $51,000 each. The upcoming sale will feature 250 limited NFTs, each priced at 30 Ethereum, one of the most prominent names in luxury goods for over a century, so it's nice to see this commercial adoption as well. A bit more news, we've got the AFD-AO approving of creating the Go stablecoin. Despite all the stablecoin FUD that we've had in the industry, looking at Luna Classic, etc., it's still nice to see that stablecoins are being released, and over time this will help build integrity and trust back to the crypto community. Because if you think about it, Luna Classic, Terra, the actual crash has created a massive ripple effect and deleterious effect on many crypto projects, probably wiping out 30% of total crypto valuation. Anyway, we're leading back to our Bitcoin rainbow chart, and you can see we're slowly coming into the light blue section now. And like I said, we don't stay in this dark blue ribbon for a long time where it's basically a fire sale. So in my opinion, it's still a great time to be accumulating or buying more cryptocurrency. Anyway, that's about a wrap with this video, guys. I just want to talk about Bitcoin, what's going on in the news. Can it go up or down? Why does it look like an accumulation season? We've got the distribution data, we've got the RSIs being super oversold on the weekly time frame, and it's all a long-term game from here onwards. If you like this content, make sure you do smash that subscribe button. Get yourself into the Telegram and the Discord channels. Make sure you get that free content and that free education. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.